chasing overtime and plans. Thought a dollar meant I cared, thought providing meant I was there. Missed a birthday, missed a game, told myself it's all the same. I'm doing this for them, I'd say, while they slowly slipped away. My little girl stopped holding tight, my boy quit asking me at night. My wife just stared across the room, like love was fading too soon. House was full but felt alone, TV loud but no one home. I had everything money could buy, except the look in their eyes. I knelt down by their bedside late, said, Lord, I think I'm too late. Voice shaking in the dark, with a broken, heavy heart. Bring me back home, Lord, bring me back home. Not just to a house with walls, but to the hearts I've left alone. Tear down the pride I've known, melt this heart of stone. If there's still a door half open, Lord, bring me back home. I ain't asking for a brand new start, just meant what's torn apart. Teach these hands to hold, not chase. Teach these eyes to see their face. If I gotta say I was wrong, let that be my redemption song. I'd trade every dime I've made for the love I let fade. Bring me back home, God, bring me back home. Not to comfort, not to fame, but to mercy I disown. Break me where I've grown too strong, show me where I don't belong. If forgiveness still lives there, Lord, bring me back home. If my knees hit this wooden floor, let my family feel it at the door. Let my change be more than words. Let it be seen, let it be heard. I don't need applause or throne, I just don't wanna die alone. Bring me back home, yes, bring me back home. To the table I ignored, to the love I should have shown. If your mercy's deeper than my wrong, if your patience has been long, then don't let this be too far gone. Lord, bring me back home. I chase a world that almost cost me everything. Lord, bring me back home. Used to carry a little weight around. Folks would nod when I walked by, look me straight there in the eye. But pride can turn a steady hand, make a fool of any man. One bad choice, then one more flame, ashes where I stood in shame. Whispers travel fast and low, truth gets bent wherever it goes. I stopped showing up on Sundays, didn't have much left to say. Sat alone in the back row once, felt like everybody knows. Head hung down, heart full of blame. He called my name, nah, he called my name. Not in anger, not in blame. He called my name when I thought I was too far gone, when I couldn't fix what I'd done. Through the guilt and through the shame, he called my name. Didn't come with excuses ready, didn't stand proud or steady, just a man with trembling hands, trying hard to understand why mercy walks where sinners fall, why love still answers when I call. I deserve the cold, the rain, but he called my name. Yes, he called my name, right there in my deepest stain. He called my name, didn't write me off the page, didn't close a book and read. Through the wreckage I became. He called my name. I heard it quiet in my soul, like distant church bells, soft and low. Not loud thunder, not bright flame, just mercy speaking my name. He called my name, he called my name when I had no one left to claim. He called my name. I'm still standing here today, not because I found my way, but grace refused to play the same. He called my name, he called my name. If you think you're too far down, if you lost your ground in town, there's a love that stays the same. He'll call your name. He called your name. Call your name. trying not to fall apart, chasing things that didn't last, running hard from my own past. I wore confidence like clothes, but underneath nobody knows how close I came to letting go. Further down that road, I said things I can't erase, seen regret I couldn't face, took my chances, lost my way, left some debts I couldn't pay. Still somehow through all that mess, through the weight I can't confess, something held me when I slipped, a wouldn't loosen grip. I didn't walk alone, even when I thought I did. Through every place I shouldn't have been, I wasn't alone. I didn't walk alone. Through the nights I couldn't pray, when I couldn't find the words to say, I wasn't alone. I stood by a hospital bed, heard the quiet words they said, held her hand and watched it fade. Nothing left but what we prayed. There were questions with no sound, heavy silence all around. Still somehow inside that room, peace would break through. So if my time comes sooner than I planned, and I let go of all I've held in hand, I didn't walk alone. Not a single step I've made, through every loss and every grave, I wasn't alone. I didn't walk alone, and I see it clearer now. Every why and every how, I wasn't alone. I ain't proud of everything, but I've seen what mercy brings. It don't wait for you to be strong, it meets you where you've gone. I didn't walk alone, from the first breath to this day. Even when I lost my way, I wasn't alone. I didn't walk alone. And when I reached that final mile, I'll just rest there for a while. I'm going home. Looking back now, every step, somebody was there. like I used to move. Takes a while to lace these shoes. Morning light through a quiet room carries more than it used to. There's a weight in the years gone by, names I speak and wonder why. Some still here, some long gone, still I carry on. I've been stubborn, I've been blind, turned away more than a few times. Said I'd figure this life alone, built a world of my own. But every road that let me fall, every night beneath those stars, something kept on pulling me through. Even when I never knew, he never left my side. Through the lows and through the highs, through the truths I try to hide, he stayed near. He never left my side. When I ran and when I tried to live this life with all my pride, he stayed near. I've held hands at hospital beds, heard the things that doctors said, watched a goodbye I wasn't ready for, felt my whole world torn. There were nights I couldn't pray, didn't have the words to say. Still somehow in the silence deep, peace would cover me. So if my voice begins to fade and I don't have the strength to say he never left my side, even then he'll be my guide. When I cross that final line, he'll be near. He never left my side, not for one step of this ride. And I see it clearer now, through the years, I ain't lived the perfect way, got some debts I couldn't pay, but mercy walked me through it all, never let me fall. He never left my side, from the first breath to this time, through every wrong and every right, he stayed near. He never left my side. And when I close my eyes tonight, I won't fear the other side. He'll be there, looking back, I see it clear. All along, he was here. I've been down some broken roads, carried things I never showed, tried to fix what I had done, fought my battles on the run, told myself I'd be okay, learned to hide the cracks away, but the truth kept finding me. wouldn't let me be. There were days I lost my way, turned my back and walked away, chose the dark when light was near, listened more to doubt than fear. Still somehow through every fall, through the silence of it all, there was something standing by. I wouldn't say goodbye. He never gave up on me, even when I couldn't see all the things I'd come to be. He stayed, he never gave up on me. Through the worst inside of me, through the mess I couldn't clean, he stayed. I've stood still in hospital halls, watched life hang by fragile cause, held a hand and let it go, felt a kind of hurt, you know. There were nights I couldn't pray, didn't have the words to say. Still somehow in that quiet place, I could feel his grace. So if I reach that final line and I leave this world behind, he never gave up on me. Not one step, not one degree, through every lost memory, he stayed. He never gave up on me. And I see it differently, looking back so honestly. He stayed. I ain't proud of all I've done, but I know I'm not the one who kept holding on so tight. Through every night, he never gave up on me. From the start until I'm free, that's the only truth I see. He stayed. He never gave up on me. And when I cross eternity, I won't fear what waits for me. He'll stay through it all. Every fall, he never walked away. I built my life with calloused hands, chasing heels, making plans. Told myself I was doing right, while love was fading every night. Late nights on a silent phone, full house but I felt alone. Peace was something I couldn't find, too busy proving I was fine. My little boy stopped asking why. My little girl quit waiting up at night. She Said you tired, I said I'm okay. Truth was walking out the door that day. One more fight, one slam door, one I can't do this anymore. That's when pride began to bend. When I should have lost my home, grace stepped in. When I should have been alone, grace stepped in. Right at the edge of my own sin, right when I was sinking in, I couldn't fall like I should have been. Grace stepped in. I knelt down on that hardwood floor. Didn't have big words anymore. No defense, no clever line, just a broken heart and borrowed time. Said, Lord, I can't undo the past, but if your mercy still can last, take this man I've always been and make him new again. When I should have lost my wife, grace stepped in. When I was done with this life, grace stepped in. Right at the end of my own strength, when I couldn't fix one single thing, he held the door I was closing in. Grace stepped in. Could have been papers on the table, could have been an empty bed, could have been waking up every morning with nothing left unsaid, when mercy had the final say. When I should have lost it all, grace stepped in. When I was headed for the fall, grace stepped in. I didn't earn it, didn't win, didn't deserve a second win, but right there in my deepest sin, grace stepped in. Grace stepped in. Oh, grace stepped in. Now I pray before I sleep, hold my family close to me. I ain't the man I might have been, thank God. Grace stepped in. I walked the road I chose myself, put my Bible back up on the shelf. Sundays turned to working days, slowly drifted miles away. Told my soul I'd be just fine, didn't need no holy line. But late at night when lights went low, there was a truth I couldn't let go. I shook my fist at what went wrong. Said, if you're there, why's this so long? Close my ears, close my eyes, build my doubts up twice the size. Still somehow through all that mess, through my pride and stubbornness, every time I hit that dam, you never left. No, you never left. When I turned my back on you, you were standing where I wept. Through every mile, every step, even in my deep regret, I walked away, but you never left. I tried to drown that quiet call with louder nights and crowded halls. Laughed too hard, stayed out too late, blamed it all on luck and fate. But mercy has a patient way of waiting through a man's delay. And right there in my worst defeat, I felt forgiveness at my feet. You never left. No, you never left. When I ran from what was true, you were closer than my breath. I was lost inside myself, buried under guilt and death. I let go, but you never left, yeah. Could've wrote me off for good, could've done what I thought you should, could've let me drift away till there was nothing left to say. But love don't walk out that door, not like I've seen before. You never left. No, you never left. When my faith was hanging thin, when my heart was out of breath, I don't stand here innocent, I stand here heaven sent. I strayed so far, but you never left. You never left. You never left. Now I bow my head at night, not because I got it right, but because I finally see you stayed through all of me. I walked away, but you never left. There was a bottle on the table and a mirror I couldn't face, smoke hanging in the kitchen, like a cloud I couldn't escape. I said I'm fine, don't worry. Told that lie so many times, but the man inside that mirror was fading line by line. Lost some friends I can't get back, broke some trust that won't come cheap. Mama's Bible on the dresser, covered up in dust and sleep. Every promise I made sober was gone by closing time. I was digging my own graveyard, one drink at a time. Then one night on that cold floor, I couldn't run no more. Shaking hands and blurry eyes, I cried my last disguise. He pulled me out, yeah, he pulled me out from the pit I dug so deep, from the chains that had me bound. I couldn't stand somehow when I didn't know. I didn't climb my way to him, he pulled me out. First few days felt like fire, body screaming for the old desire. But every time temptation called, I heard a stronger voice than all. It didn't shout, it didn't shove, just steady, stubborn love. Said, son, you ain't who you been, you don't live there again. He pulled me out, Lord, he pulled me out. Not because I cleaned up first, not because I figured it out. With mercy I don't deserve, with patience I can't count. I was sinking fast and hard, but he pulled me out. When the bottle called my name, he pulled me out. When I almost went back again, when shame tried to drag me down, he set my feet on solid ground. He pulled me out, yes, he pulled me out from the darkness I called home, from the wreckage all around. I ain't proud of where I've been, but I ain't going back again. My freedom didn't start with me, he pulled me out. 30 years I was a slave. One prayer, and everything changed. He pulled me out, he pulled me out, he pulled me out, he pulled me out. I've been up before the sun, trying to outrun what I'd done. Carried weight I couldn't shake, every choice, every mistake. Told myself I'd be alright, kept it hidden out of sight. But the truth don't fade away, it just waits. There were roads I shouldn't take, promises I didn't keep, faces I still can't forget, nights that steal a little sleep. I went farther than I planned, lost the grip of who I am. Still somehow when I went astray, somebody stayed. Somebody stayed when I pushed the world away, when I couldn't even pray. Somebody stayed. Somebody stayed, didn't leave me in that place, didn't turn his face away. Somebody stayed. I stood still in empty rooms, heard the echo of bad news, watched a goodbye come too fast, tried to make a moment last. There were days I lost my ground, no clear answers anywhere around. Still in silence, unexplained, peace remained. So if tonight becomes that line where I leave this world behind, somebody stay every step along the way, through the nights and through the days. Somebody stay. Somebody stay, and I see it clearer now, even through the why and how. Oh, somebody stay. I ain't strong the way I seem, I've been held more than I dreamed. It wasn't me that found my way, and when I cross that river wide, I won't fear the other side. Somebody stay. Looking back through it all, I was never on my own. Slammed a few doors in my time, crossed some holy lines, told myself I didn't care if you were even there. Took your name in empty way, turned my back for better days, ran as far as I could see, thought I'd finally broken free. But freedom felt a lot like change. Different towns, same old pain. Every road I wandered down led me back to sacred ground. There were nights I felt that call, soft as rain against the wall. Didn't matter where I'd be, you kept coming after me. Yeah, you kept coming after me. Through the bars and through the doubt, through the lies I talked about, I ran hard, but I could see you kept coming after me. Not with thunder, not with shame, not with anger, not with blame, just a mercy strong and slow, wouldn't let my story go. Every time I hit the ground, every time I thought I'd drown, somehow love still carried me. You kept coming after me. Lord, you kept coming after me. When I swore I'd gone too far, when I wore my deepest scars, right there in my misery, you kept coming after me. I wasn't looking, I wasn't praying, I wasn't faithful, still you were staying. I wasn't worthy, I wasn't clean, but love kept walking right toward me. You kept coming after me. Yes, you kept coming after me. From my youth to silver hair, you were always right there. Now I stand here finally free. You kept coming, you kept coming, you kept coming after me. If you think you're too far gone, like you outrun heaven's song, take it from a man who tried. You can't outrun that kind of love. He'll keep coming after you. Kept coming after you. You kept coming after me. If you think you're too far gone, like you've outrun heaven's song, take it from a man who tried. You can't outrun that kind of love. He'll keep coming after you. You kept coming after me. Coffee cup still on the shelf. Been 6 months now by myself. The side of the bed stays cold. Silence louder than it ought to be. Neighbors said time will heal, but time don't cook and time don't feel. I bow my head but I don't speak. Too tired to be strong, too weak to weep. I almost blamed you, I'll be honest. Almost said you took too much. Almost packed this Bible away, 'cause faith fell out of touch. Church bells rang, I stayed home. Didn't want to sit alone. Didn't want to hear he's good, when nothing in my life felt good. But in that chair by the window light, in the middle of another long night, you sat with me. Didn't rush, didn't preach, didn't fix what I couldn't read. You sat with me in the quiet, in the ache, every breath my heart could barely take. When I had nothing left to give, you just sat with me. No lightning bolt, no big display, just peace that slowly made its way. Not the kind that shouts out loud, but the kind that sits when grief gets proud. I still miss her every day. Some mornings I still break, but I ain't drowning like before. Something's holding me at the shore. You didn't take the pain away, but you stayed. You sat with me through the tears nobody sees, through the nights I dropped to my knees. You sat with me when I had questions with no reply, when I just stared at the sky. I didn't have the strength to pray, but you sat with me anyway. And maybe that's the miracle. Not that you stopped the hurt, but that you stepped into it. Not that you changed the story, but you refused to leave the pain. You sat with me, closer than the air I breathe, held together what was left of me. You sat with me, and if that's all you ever do, just stay when I'm breaking through. That's enough for this old heart to see. You sat with me. She's home now, and I'm still here. And I ain't alone. You sat with me. There were nights I drove too far, didn't know just where you are. Radio on, but nothing said to quiet down my head. Missed a turn I should have made, let some good things slip away. Told myself I'd be alright, just one more night. I've been stubborn, I admit, held on tight, wouldn't quit. Tried to fix what I had done on my own, on the run. But every time I lost the road, buried deep beneath the load, there was something in the dark, like a distant spark. He kept the light on, even when I stayed gone, even when I ran too long. He kept it on. He kept the light on through every right and wrong, like he knew I'd come back home. He kept it on. I've stood still in quiet pain, watched life change I can't explain. Held on close, then let it go. That's the way it goes. Oh, there were prayers I couldn't find, just a heavy silent mind, still somehow without a sound. Hope was around, so if I reach that final bend and this road comes to an end, he kept the light on, waiting where I belong. All the miles I traveled wrong, he kept it on. He kept the light on. Now I see it all along. I was never truly gone. He kept it on. I ain't earned that kind of grace, still it met me face to face. Didn't matter where I'd gone, he kept the light on. He kept the light on from the dusk until the dawn, through the nights I couldn't go on. He kept it on. He kept the light on. And when I finally move on, I'll step into where it shone. He kept it on. Never closed the door, never turned away, just left it burning so I could find my way. Oh, yeah. They cleaned out my desk on a Friday noon, cardboard box and an empty room. 40 years in a steel-toed pair, now just silence in that chair. Drove back home in a quiet truck, Radio low, feeling stuck. Man gets older, world moves on. Hard to tell where you belong. Woke up Monday with nowhere to go. Sat on the porch, watched the wind blow. Hands that built and fixed and saved, now just resting, feeling age. I told myself, you had your run, maybe now your time is done. But a voice cut through that noise, you're still mine. I still call you mine. Not by title, not by pay, not by what you gave away. Through every season, every line, you're still mine. I thought worth was what I made, measured checks I saved. Thought a man was what he earned. Now I see how much I learned. Grandkids laughing in the yard, wife still holding my scarred heart. Maybe losing that old role saved something in my soul. Claim, not by fortune, not by fame. Before you worked and after time, you're still mine. I ain't done till heaven said. I ain't through with borrowed breath. If these hands can fold in prayer, then I've still got purpose there. You're still mine. Oh, you're still mine. When the paychecks fade away, you're still mine. Through the aging, through decline, through the closing of that sign, before the grave and past the line, you're still mine. You're still mine. You're still mine. So I'll sit here on this porch tonight, not afraid of fading light. If I've got breath and borrowed time, I'm still yours. You're still mine. I pray for change on a Monday night. Tuesday looked the same. Bills still stacked on the table. Nothing moving in my name. I said, Lord, are you listening? 'Cause I don't see no sign. Heaven felt so quiet in this worried heart of mine. I sang the songs on Sunday, shook every preacher's hand, said God is good with a smile, but I didn't understand why the door stayed closed, why the tears still came, why the fire I used to feel didn't burn the same. But just because I couldn't see it didn't mean you weren't there. Just because I couldn't feel it didn't mean you didn't care. You were working all along, even when I thought you were gone. Behind the silence, behind the wait, behind every not yet and too late, I was doubting, holding on. But you were working along. One day I look back over all the roads I walked through. Every closed door saved me from something I never knew. That job I didn't get, that move that fell apart, every broken season was shaping up my heart. Now I see what I couldn't have, now I know what I didn't know. You were building something better underneath the no. You were working all along, through the right and through the wrong, through the nights I lost my song, through the days that felt too long. I was weak, but you were strong. You were working all along. When I couldn't see your hand, you were working. When I couldn't understand, you were working. In the waiting, in the pain, nothing wasted, nothing vain. I thought you left me on my own, but you were working on. You were working all along. Yes, you were working all along. Every tear and every fall, you were there through it all. Now my doubt has turned to song. You were working all along.
I thought heaven was silent. Turns out it was just patient.
You were working all along. I've been sitting on this porch, watching days roll by real slow. Got a past I can't ignore, places only I would know. Some were good, some went wrong. Some I carried far too long. Thought I had to fix it all before I heard the call. There were years I chased my name, tried to outrun guilt and shame, built my walls up tall and wide, kept the truth outside. But every time I hit that end, when I broke and couldn't mend, something met me in that place, didn't turn away. Right where mercy found me, in the middle of my fall, when I had no strength at all. It found me right where mercy found me. Not when I was standing tall, but down low against the wall. It found me. I've seen friends just fade away, heard the words no one can say, held on tight then let them go. That's just life, I know. There were nights I questioned why, stared at heaven dry, still somehow without a sound, peace would come around. So if this road runs out tonight, and I step beyond that line, right where mercy found me, that's exactly where I'll stand. Not by my own steady hand. It found me right where mercy found me. I don't need to understand, I just know the way I am. It found me. Yeah, I ain't stronger than my past, I just learned what really lasts. It wasn't me that held on tight, I was held that whole time. Right where mercy found me, that's the story I'll still tell. Pulled me up when I just fell. It found me right where mercy found me. And when I say my last goodbye, I won't feel what's on the other side. It found me. Didn't earn it, didn't plan it, but it